What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Ram TRX. Huge thank you to Erica.Ramsey over at Koons Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram here in Tysons Corner, Virginia, for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular TRX or any Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram product, I'll be sure to have Erica's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. I'm having a little bit of a deja vu moment right now because I did a video with the TRX about 6 months ago, and what's funny is that one was also painted in flame red as this one is, but in that video I was wearing my red hoodie, in which I'm also wearing here today. So it's, you know, it's just kind of funny because I didn't plan to do a video with the TRX and I didn't really plan to even wear this hoodie either. So sometimes it's just funny how life works things out, and I'm definitely not complaining about doing another video with another red TRX. A couple things I wanted to preface this video with is that it is a very blustery day outside here today. So if there is any wind noise in this video, I do want to apologize in advance, but it's blowing from there, it's blowing from here, and I don't really have any control over that, but I am trying my best. I have a windsock on the camera. But now on to the bad news. So 2024 is the final year of the supercharged Hemi V8 that makes the TRX the TRX. So for 2025, Ram is putting in a turbocharged inline 6-cylinder that sounds like garbage. And again, this 6.2 Hemi is what makes the TRX the TRX. You know, the EcoBoost Raptor, you know, that's a great truck, but it sounds like crap. When this first came out, this is the truck that everybody wanted. You know, everybody who had a Raptor, not everybody, but majority of people, they swapped into a TRX because of this engine, and this truck is what sparked the Raptor R. By the way, this is still a better truck than the Raptor R. It sounds better, in my opinion. It looks better, and it's nicer on the interior. Again, my personal opinion. But they're taking the soul away from the TRX, so I'm gonna have to say rest in peace to the TRX 2024, because the 2025 should not even bear the name TRX, because it is not going to be a TRX. The TRX bears a 6.2 liter supercharged V8, not a turbo inline 6. But anyways, with that rant out of the way, let's talk about the exterior. So like I mentioned a little bit ago in the video, this vehicle has been painted in flame red clear coat, which looks awesome on the TRX. I'm going to call this one Clifford. But now let's just walk ourselves throughout the exterior, shall we? So up top here, you get the 6.2 liter supercharged plaque, and then you also get these non-functional hood vents on both sides. Again, the ones that I'm pointing out right now are non-functional. However, the one at the center is your functional air scoop, and you also do get 3 marker lights, 1, 2, 3, that are unmistakably TRX, because when you see this thing driving down the other side of the road and you see those 3 lights on, you're like, that is a Ram TRX, or at least I'm like that. I'm sure there are a few other people who also are like that as well. But as standard with the TRX, you get LED headlights with auto high beams, as well as LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights. Now I'm going to take a step back and we're going to take in the entire menacing front end of the TRX. You got to step far back because this thing's wide, it's beefy, and again, it's just unmistakably a TRX. I mean, just look how wide that is. Like, you see where the doors are, and you see how much wider it is than the doors. The doors are like where a standard Ram 1500 is, and then you just see how much wider the TRX is than a standard 1500. But anyways, what makes the TRX up here is the massive satin black front grille and the black grille surround. You can see at the center of your grille, you get the flow Ram lettering, or flow through Ram lettering. Kind of copied this from Chevy with their flow tie, but it actually does, you know, force in a considerable amount more air than if all this Ram lettering was closed off. So I think that's pretty cool. And then coming down, you can see the entire front end is open pretty much to feed all that air into that massive 6.2. But you can see underneath your A is where you'll find your front camera. So this vehicle has been optioned with the $10,995 level 2 equipment group. And with the level 2 equipment group, you get that front camera that works with your 360-degree view camera system. And then you also get 6 forward-facing sensors with that package as well. Now, coming down just a little bit, you can see you get a black steel front bumper. Take a listen. That is steel. And then coming down just a little bit more, you get those 2 tow hooks, and then you also get that gray skid plate slash front fascia. So this is also metal. Listen. And then speaking of skid plates, you get skid plates that protect your belly pan, your front suspension, your fuel tank, your steering gear, and your transfer case. So not only is this a show truck, it's also a go truck. So it does the show, it does the go, and it does both very, very well. Anyways, moving on from there, if you were wondering about the ground clearance, you get 11.8 inches of ground clearance with the TRX. One thing I wanted to show you is that, look at that. Basically, this is where a standard Ram 1500 ends, is about like right here. And just look how much wider this is than the standard TRX. So basically, you get a wide body kit with the TRX, but then you also get a side marker light right there. You get satin black fender flares. Very, very cool looking. And then this one has been optioned just with the standard 18-inch polished black wheels that are wrapped in 35-inch Goodyear Wrangler Territory AT tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here. That is what they look like there. And then just behind the wheel and tire setup is where you will find your active Bilstein Blackhawk E2 shocks. That is what your suspension setup looks like down under here. Look at that control arm, ultra beefy control arm. And then one thing I wanted to mention is that at my last job, my work truck was actually a Ram TRX, funny enough. So I got to put about 9,000 miles or 7,000 miles on a TRX. I loved every minute of it, by the way. But the one fault to the TRX were the brakes. You know, this thing's got tons and tons of power, but really it should have Brembo brakes to pull all this weight and all this power back down to a, you know, stop in a respectable amount of time. So the stock brakes, not quite the best in my personal opinion, but they do get the job done. Moving on from there, another thing I wanted to mention has to do with the suspension. So from my personal experience with the suspension, I would say, like, in normal mode, it is, you know, on the firmer side, but it still soaks up bumps pretty well in my personal opinion. So it does a good job at soaking up bumps on road, and then it also does a pretty good job off road as well. So when you put this thing into Baja mode, it basically rides like a sponge. So it just basically floats over everything. It does a very good job in Baja mode. And if you want to feel like ultra powerful, put it in Baja mode and this thing will squat like crazy. It feels very, very fun. But anyways, just a little bit of secret information for those of you who have never driven a TRX. Coming down the side, you get these satin black fender vents, and you can feel the heat dissipating out of that engine bay, which feels good on my hands because it's kind of cold outside. And then with the level 2 equipment group, you get rain sensing wipers. And then I'm going to move my way into the side view mirrors, but I'm going to split them into two parts of what you get standard and then what you get with the level 2 equipment group. So as standard, you get satin black side view mirrors with integrated turn signals. Also as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, power folding. The driver's side mirror is auto dimming, and then you also do get a puddle light, which is located right there, basically to illuminate this area at night. But like I mentioned, this vehicle has been optioned with the level 2 equipment group, and with the level 2 equipment group optioned, you get the blind spot monitoring on the left hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the right hand side of your passenger side mirror. You also get the side view mirror memory settings as well. So when you get the level 2 equipment group, you get the driver seat memory, but when you set your driver's seat memory, it not only memorizes your seat, it also memorizes the side view mirror settings as well. And then last but not least, with the level 2 equipment group here on the side view mirrors, you get this camera right here, and that camera works with your 360-degree view camera system like I mentioned earlier in the video. Here's a little side profile shot of the TRX, or Clifford as I like to call the flame red TRX. So you may be able to tell, you get some black window trim, and then again with the level 2 equipment group, you get these gloss black door handles with keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can also press that button right there, and that will lock it. On your front 2 doors only, you get your black Ram lettering. There's a closer view of that. And then this vehicle has been optioned with the $250 lower two-tone paint. So if you didn't get that option, the bottom of your doors would be painted in the flame red. However, with the $250 two-tone option, you can see it is painted in black. And personally for me, I do like the two-tone paint. I think it just, you know, looks a little bit better. Again, my personal opinion. But coming down the side, you get a capless filler neck, and you're going to have to know exactly where this is because you're going to be filling this thing up quite often, and that is what it looks like down in there. Closing that back up, by the way, you should definitely put 93 octane in this vehicle, even though it doesn't tell you to necessarily. Absolutely put 93 octane in this. But coming up top here, I see that question a lot on the TRX forums. You get your satin black shark fin antenna up top here. And then again, this vehicle has been optioned with the level 2 equipment group, and with the level 2 equipment group, you get the rear view camera mirror, and the rear view camera mirror camera is located about right there. Also with that group, you get that LED third brake light up top there. As standard, you get a power sliding rear window and a rear window defroster. Coming down just a little bit more, here is your rear shocks. That is what they look like. Then you also do get a 5-link coil rear suspension. That is what that looks like right there. Now let's do a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. There you go. As standard, you get LED taillights. Then you also get a backup camera back here as well. Your backup camera is located right there. You can see you get your badging back here, pretty much all satin black badging. And that is what that looks like. A couple other things that I wanted to mention is that this vehicle has been optioned with the $945 bed utility group, and with that package you get the deployable bed step. All you got to do is kick it down and the bed step will deploy, making it a little bit easier to step in and out of the bed. And then also with the bed utility group, you get 4 tie down hooks, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you also get this track here with that package as well. And then last but not least, you also get a spray and bed liner with that package. Now, closing this back up, all you can do, kick that back in and it goes back in. With the level 2 equipment group, you get the power tailgate release. So all you got to do is push that, tailgate will release, and then you can also release it from the interior as well. Also with the level 2 equipment group, you get the LED box lighting, so you get the lights in all 4 corners. Then you also get the lights up top there. You get a button right there, you can turn the lights on the driver's side of the bed. And then last but not least, with the level 2 equipment group back here, I want to make sure I don't squish that license plate, you get another 6 parking sensors back here. Excuse me, you get another 4 parking sensors back here with the level 2 equipment group. Now coming down, you can see you get a black rear bumper. You also get dual exhaust. You get the 2 tow hooks back here as well. This is your trailer hitch. You get a full-size spare tire underneath there as well. That is what that looks like. And then a couple things I wanted to mention is that the max payload capacity of the TRX is 1,310 pounds. And then the max tow capacity of the TRX is 8,100 pounds. I don't know if you've seen any pictures of TRXs hauling heavy things, but these are not made to tow. These are made to do off-road stuff. Even though it does have a pretty, good tow capacity, you might want to put airbags if you're going to be putting a lot of tongue weight on this thing, because these do squat very, very easily, because that's what they're made to do. They're made to go off-road. They're made to jump and stuff like that. They're not necessarily made to tow. Just wanted to put that out there. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 6.2 liter supercharged V8 that makes 702 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 4.5 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 10 miles per gallon in the city, 14 miles per gallon on the highway, for 12 miles per gallon combined with full-time 4-wheel drive. So it's kind of like an all-wheel drive system, but they call it a full-time 4-wheel drive system. Another thing I wanted to mention is that if you have any worries about fuel economy, I'm telling you, this is not the vehicle for you. You will be at the gas station quite often with this thing, especially if you like to give it a little bit of gas, because you can get into the single digits very, 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 very easily with this vehicle, because you want to. It's fun, it sounds good, and it's just a good time. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. I love doing these videos, but it is still work for me. So I would really appreciate it if you're enjoying anything in this video. If you've learned anything from this video, please just take a second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and hit that subscribe button. The likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. But anyways, with that stuff said, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned earlier in the video, with the level 2 equipment group, you do get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can press that button right there, and that will lock the vehicle. I did want to walk you through a couple of the functions on the key fob. Starting from the top, you have your unlock function, your lock function, your tailgate drop function, and your remote start function. So if you wanted to remote start the vehicle, all you got to do is press this button twice. And And that is what she sounds like when she fires up. And now I'm gonna turn it back off. It is warm, don't worry, because that is going to mess with the audio in the video because it is so loud. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the video, this has the level 2 equipment group. So with the level 2 equipment group, I'm gonna go over a couple things. So you get the memory settings. You also get the luxury front door trim panel and the 19 speaker Harman Kardon sound system. This vehicle has also been optioned with the $1,495 TRX red interior accents, which give you the red accent colored stitching as well as the red for your Harman Kardon speaker surround. Now I'm going to walk you throughout the door panel. So at the top, you get some leather wrapping, you get some Alcantara, some gray trim, you get a black chrome door handle, 2 memory seat adjustment settings with the level 2 equipment group. Again, with the level 2 equipment group, you get the 19 speaker Harman Kardon sound system. Take a look how fancy these speaker surrounds look like. That's also a very nice sounding sound system, by the way. Then you get a leather wrapped and nicely padded armrest, red accent colored stitching. You have your power side view mirror controls here. If you press on this button, that is going to power fold in your side view mirrors. Then you get automatic up and down windows in the front, but you do not get automatic up or down in windows in the back. That is to restrict your passenger window privileges. You have your unlock and your lock functions, a spot you could set your phone, and quite a bit of miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of your door panel. Now, again, with the level 2 equipment group, you get these leather trimmed bucket front seats, as well as these front seats. Actually, all the seats in the interior are heated and ventilated. Then you get 8-way power front seats with 4-way power lumbar. You also get power adjustable pedals down here with memory included in that package. I'll get into that here in a second. And then also the TRX red interior accent group gives you the red stitching up top here with the TRX embroidered. Then you get that red accent color here and the red accent colored stitching. Now let's step into the interior. I'm gonna start her up. All you gotta do, key fob in the interior, push your foot down on the brake and push to start. And that is that beautiful engine note. But now I'm gonna walk you throughout the interior, starting with the functions down here. So this is your headlight control right here. All the way to the right is automatic. That is headlights on, parking lights on, headlights off. That is fog lights on, that is cargo lights on or off. Coming over to here, this is for your ambient lighting, basically to adjust the brightness of it. And then this is to adjust the brightness of your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. You get the electronic parking brake by pulling up on that. Now the parking brake is engaged. And then again, with the level 2 equipment group, you get these power adjustable pedals. You can push the pedals away from you, and then you can also bring the pedals towards you. So this is pushing the pedals away. And then this is to bring the pedals towards me. So very, very nice. And again, those are memorized with the level 2 equipment group. Coming up top here, when you flip this thing down, now you have access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So you can bring the steering wheel towards you, you can push it away from you, and then you can move it up and down until you find your comfortable position, and then lock it back into place by pushing back up on that. This is your turn signal control stock as well as your windshield wiper control stock. But now let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. And then also with that level 2 equipment group, you get the leather and suede steering wheel, and that also gives you the heated steering wheel. So you get the suede at the top, suede at the bottom, and then the leather on the sides. All TRXs get these paddle shifters. One thing that's interesting about the paddle shifters is that they are divided into 2. There's the top piece, and then there is the bottom piece. Kind of interesting. And then one thing that's also interesting is that on the back side of the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your tuning controls, and then on the back side of the right-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your volume controls. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen to it. That is what the horn sounds like on the TRX. So on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, this vehicle has been optioned with the $995 advanced safety group, which gives you adaptive cruise control with stop and go. So here are your adaptive cruise control settings. And then on this side of the steering wheel, you get these 4 arrows and that button right there. And those are all to control your 12-inch digital gauge cluster, which was new for 2023 last year. I'll get into that here in a second. This is to speak to the vehicle as well as pick up on a phone call. And then that is to hang up on a phone call. Now let's move into our gauge cluster. So on the left-hand side of the gauge cluster, I apologize, I'm going to try to block out that light there, but it's going to be kind of hard to do. You have your tachometer on the left, you got your speedometer on the right, you got your digital speedometer readout at the center. Then over here, you have your coolant temperature gauge. Then that's your transmission status stuff. It says TRX up top there. You get the ambient exterior temperature. Then you get your fuel gauge and your fuel range over there. That is your odometer, and that is about it for that screen. If you wanted to switch throughout these screens, you have these buttons here. So basically, this is your analog display. I'm gonna try to move the vehicle out of the light that it's in currently, see if I can't get a little bit better of a view of the gauge cluster. So I'm gonna move into this spot over here. So a little bit better. Anyway, it is what it is. Flipping this to the right is going to put me into my digital screen. So this is what the digital screen looks like. You got your tach at the bottom, digital speedometer readout here. You got your compass over there. Clicking over one more time, this is the sport view. I think this is actually new for 2024. I don't remember this, but it might not be. You get your transmission status stuff, your G meter, and then everything else is the same. Clicking again over one more time to the right, you got your Baja view. So this is what your Baja view, you get your oil pressure, your tire pressure, and everything else is about the same. I believe both of those screens are new because I only remember the digital and the analog for 2023. But then clicking down on this screen is gonna bring you into your driver assist information stuff. Clicking down one more time is gonna bring you into your vehicle information stuff. So you can go out between your fuel economy stuff, your vehicle information stuff, your gauge summary, your performance summary, your oil summary, your battery voltage, your tire pressure stuff, your drive mode, and your engine hours. Now clicking down one more time, this is your performance stuff. So you get your speed timers, drag timers, braking distance stuff, G-force stuff, then you get your lap timer, your lap history, and your top speed. Coming down one more time, trip A and trip B information there. You got your navigation stuff. It's basically going to put the navigation stuff throughout that screen. Then you got your vehicle dynamic stuff. This is your off-road screen. We got both of those two things there. Then you got your trailer tow information. You got your audio stuff there. You got your messages and your settings for your head-up display and your speed warning, your screen setup, and all that kind of stuff. Basically, you can adjust what you see on this screen here. I'm not going to mess with it too much, but that is what that does. Coming down one more, you got your diagnostics, and then back to this screen here. If you click on this button, it's going to pop up a bunch of different tiles. So basically, if you press and hold on the OK button right here, you can basically select the number of tiles. Then you can see what the tiles, so I'm switching between performance, trailer tow stuff, off-road stuff, audio stuff, all of these different things here. You can adjust what you see on all of these different things. Again, you just make it what you want it to be, you know? Very configurable. Again, you can adjust all of those things. So then if you just want to like pop right into it, all you got to do is click on that, and it's going to pop you into your tile screen that you set up. So then you just click on it and it's going to bring you right into that. So that's kind of cool. And that is what that does there. So just wanted to point that out. Moving on from there with the level 2 equipment group, you get a head-up display. And right now the head-up display is displaying the digital speedometer readout as well as the speed limit sign. Also with the level 2 equipment group, you get these leather wrapped OPU panels up top here. This area right there, very nice, very premium feeling. You get a leather wrapping up top here as well. You get the speaker surrounds, you get some Alcantara up top there. Up top here, you get a 12-volt power outlet. You get another OPU panel that is leather wrapped on that side as well. You get the red push button start button, and then this is your 12-inch Uconnect 5 infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. This is a very easy to use screen. But before I get into that screen, you get this TRX button right here. So when you click on that TRX button, it's going to bring you into this performance dashboard. So then you have all of your different drive modes that you can select. All you got to do is press on that TRX button. But if you don't want to go into this screen and you want to switch on the fly, you can push these buttons here. So it's going to switch you between your custom, your mud, sand, your rock, your Baja mode. You get your sport mode, your tow mode, your snow mode, your auto mode. So I like to leave it in auto for right now at least. And then you have a 2-speed transfer case. You get 4-wheel drive high and 4-wheel drive low. You also get 4-wheel drive automatic. You can lock your rear axle, but you cannot lock your front axle. And then that is for true neutral. So if you wanted to neutral tow this vehicle, you just push that button and that's going to put the transfer case into true neutral. Then you also get a launch control button. From what I've read and experienced, you can actually do a faster launch without the launch control button. But now let's move into the screen. So on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the screen, you have these physical buttons for your temperatures, up top there, front defroster, rear defroster, you got your AC and your recirculation button. Then you got your auto button, your fan speed button, you got your mode button, and then your temperature controls, physical volume control knob, physical tuning control knob. Then you get your lane keep assist button up top here. This is your hazard button. You get your mute button, screen off button, touch anywhere on the screen, but the screen will come back on. And then with the level 2 equipment group, you get the integrated trailer brake controller, which is what this is down here. And then you have these buttons down here. You get your hill descent control button, traction control on or off button. You get your parking sensors on or off buttons here. Then you get 6 auxiliary switches. If you hypothetically wanted to, you could wire up 6 light bars, and then you just turn those light bars on with these buttons down here. But now let's go throughout this screen. So up top here, you get your navigation stuff. Then if you click there, that's going to bring you into this screen. You get your heated seat button, heated steering wheel button, and your ventilated seat button. On the passenger side, you only get the heated and ventilated seat buttons, both right there. Then you get the time, the temperature, so on and so forth. You can swipe throughout this page. You can add your widgets. You get all of these shortcut buttons down here on the screen. You get your media stuff. You get your climate control stuff, which also brings up the heated and ventilated stuff, as well as the heated steering wheel. You get your navigation stuff. Get your Apple CarPlay stuff as well. Get your vehicle stuff, and then you also have this screen as well. You can go between all of these different things. I'm not going to spend too much time on that screen, because up top or down here spot you can set a phone. You get 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, and an auxiliary jack. I know for 2023, a part of the level 2 equipment group, you get a wireless charging pad. However, on the window sticker, it didn't include the wireless charging pad for the level 2 equipment group. However, I do believe that this does come a part of the level 2 equipment group. So you'd set your phone there. I can do that, I guess. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, one of the bigger phones on the market, and you can just set your phone basically down in that spot there, and it is supposed to charge. Then you get some more storage space down there. If you wanted to control the transmission with the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, go into drive, flip this over to the left, the S will highlight, and now you can control the transmission with the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. That is what that does. Spot you can set your key fob. You get 2 cup holders over there, and if you wanted to, you could close that off as well, and now it's just basically like a trim piece, but I'm using that, so I'm gonna open that up. Then you get some storage space here, some storage space on that side as well. You get some leather here and this side, and then this right here, this is basically your really cool badge. It gets hot as hell in the summer, but it basically tells you the engine, the horsepower, the boost, the supercharged stuff, and then the VIN. That's what that looks like. Opening this up, get the upper part of the glove box. You get a USB-A port down there. Clicking that one more time, you get the lower part of the glove box. All of this stuff I would never use. You get some coin holders. You get a 115 volt household power outlet, and then tons and tons of miscellaneous storage space down in there. I mean, you'll probably never run out of storage space, but one thing that's pretty cool is that there is a little Easter egg down there, and you can see you get the TRX and the Raptor. Basically, the TRX is big, the Raptor is small. Kind of funny, but yeah, TRX is better than the Raptor. Closing that back up, you get a upper glove box over here, quite a bit of storage space. Then you get a lockable lower glove box, quite a bit of storage space down in there as well. But it is rather small for a truck because you do get the upper glove box. And then up top here with the level 2 equipment group, you get to the digital rear view mirror. So if you click right here, you can adjust the brightness of it. Then you can also adjust it down, and then you can bring it back up to your liking. So you can see it's going up, it's going down. So basically you can adjust how far it goes up and how far it goes down, as well as the brightness. Spot you can set your sunglasses, and then this vehicle has also been optioned with the $1,595 panoramic roof. So here are all of your panoramic roof controls, as well as your rear window control. That is to open and or close your rear window back there. This is to open the shade for the panoramic roof, and then this is to slide the roof, and this is to tilt the roof. Driver and passenger both get LED lights. This is to drop the tailgate. You have your light controls here. This is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the doors. This is your instant dome light on button. Then you have your SOS and your assist stuff. You get your universal garage door opener. You get a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights. And then you get a spot you can set paper. Opening this up, you can slide this forwards and backwards depending on where the sun is shining. And then kind of about it for what we got going on in these front seats, other than these headrests are adjustable, so you can move them forwards and backwards. So they are 4-way adjustable. They go up, they go down, but then they also go forwards and backwards as well. So very, very nice and very comfortable on long road trips as well. A couple things I wanted to go over. Again, this vehicle has been optioned with the level 2 equipment group. I'll put everything that you get with the level 2 equipment group on screen right now. You can take a look at that because I'm not going to read through all of that. But basically, I'm going to highlight a couple things. You get the Harman Kardon sound system, 19 speakers. You get the head-up display. You get the digital rear view mirror. You get the leather trimmed bucket seats, the heated and ventilated seats at all 4 corners, the power adjustable pedals, so on and so forth. This also has the $995 advanced safety group, which gives you adaptive cruise control with stop and go, the lane keep assist, and the pedestrian emergency braking. This also has the trailer tow group for $395. That gives you the trailer tire pressure monitoring system. And last but not least, this also has the $1,595 panoramic roof. You can see what that looks like there. I can open it up all the way if you want to. But I want to show you what we got going on in these rear seats before moving into the drive. Before I do that, I had to do it. It sounds too good. Now, this is what the rear door panel looks like. Again, you don't get automatic up or down windows back here. You get a spot you can set your phone, good amount of miscellaneous storage space down there, and a speaker surround. Ram box down here, you can set what you need to, quite a bit of depth. And then one thing I really like about this vehicle is back here. So, stepping on into these rear seats, up top here, you get a dome light. You get a spot you can set your dry cleaning. You get a no poop handle. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat, as well as these mole straps for pens and stuff like that, maybe a screwdriver, stuff like that. But these seats recline. So if you reach under here with the level 2 equipment group, you pull up on that, watch this. Now the seat is reclined. Look at that. You get reclining rear seats with the level 2 equipment group. Absolutely love that. I think that is awesome. One thing that's also awesome is how fancy this center console looks back here. So this also doubles as a seat, but you can see you get 2 cup holders. And opening this thing up, you get a spot you can set your phone down in there. You get basically the same thing that you get there, you get here. That is what that looks like. Very cool. But then you can also turn that back into a seat, and it is a fancy looking seat. So very, very good attention to detail, Ram. You get, I believe, 2 speakers up top here. Somebody said they weren't speakers, but I'm pretty sure they are speakers. I will test that in a minute, and I'll put it on screen if they are. 2 cup holders, a spot you could set your phone, heated and ventilated rear seats, both with 3 levels of adjustability, 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, and a household power outlet back there. And that kind of about does it for what we got going on back here. I got tons of leg room, tons of knee room. I don't even need to talk about it. Tons of both. But that kind of about does it for this vehicle. So, you know, we've talked about the interior, we talked about the exterior, and we talked about the performance. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion. Take a listen. This thing sounds beautiful. I love the way that this thing sounds. It's the end of an era, really, because, you know, with the way that the world is going and getting rid of gas and all that kind of, I'm gonna reserve my comments. It's such a shame to see this thing turn into a non-TRX. Really, at the end of the day, it's not going to be a TRX anymore because it doesn't have that beautiful engine note under the hood. It's going to sound like a rap turd. You know, it is what it is. That's what it's going to be, and I think the sales will drop because of that, and because it doesn't sound like this. This thing just invokes such like amazing emotions. It's just like nothing that you've ever really driven before if you've never driven one of these, because it shouldn't be this fast. It shouldn't be this fun to drive, but it is. And there's something special to that. And that is why I think it is a mistake for them to get rid of this, because it's a one of a kind. And I know the Raptor R is the Raptor R, but this is better than a Raptor R. It sounds better. It looks better. The interior is nicer. And I think it's a better truck than the Raptor R. Again, my personal opinion. But here's another little acceleration for you. love hearing the supercharger note. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, at my last job, my work truck was a Ram TRX, and I gotta say, it was a 2021. I think it was louder. I think it was louder than this, even from the exterior's perspective. I know they added some sound deadening for the 22 and up, but it just sounds louder. The 21 sounds louder than the 23. If you want something that's a little bit louder, just open up that rear window, then you get that glorious engine note. Here you go. I just want to let you know that I am nowhere near full throttle. And when I had that work truck, I floored that thing nearly everywhere because my boss told me I could, and he told me I should. So I did. I listened to him. And it was insanely fast. And I wish I could convey that to you today, but I don't want to get on this thing too much. But here's another little acceleration. And then it just cruises like a regular truck. I mean, we're going 70. Take a listen. I mean, I can't believe what it can do. You know, it can go off-road. It can be the biggest monster that there is off-road, but then it can also be very tame on-road as well. You know, we're not getting very good fuel economy right now, but who cares? This thing does everything. It does everything, and it's such a great truck overall. And I'm gonna be sad to see it go, because that's what I'm considering. I'm considering it gone after the end of this year. Even though, you know, the Turbo 6 is probably going to be a great powertrain. It probably is. You know, I left the window down back there, by the way. But it's not a TRX. It's not a TRX. And if you agree with me, let me know in the comments down below. But overall, the way that this thing is, it is a great truck. It makes for a great daily. You know, if you live in the city, this isn't a good truck for you. The reason being is it is very hard to park in parking garages and stuff like that. You know, I've took the TRX that I had into a parking garage one time, and that was enough for me to be like, I'm never doing this again, because it's so wide, and parking garages and stuff are just not made for trucks this wide, trucks this big, and stuff like that. But other than that, you know, I never had a problem parking it with the 360 cam. That one was also a level 2. And basically, I'm gonna have to cut across all lanes of traffic here. I just love hearing that supercharger note. It's something special. I mean, it really is. Hellcat engine is great. I love the supercharger note. I love the exhaust note. Everything about it is just so good. The interior is just so premium looking and feeling. Sound system is great. The infotainment system is very intuitive as well. It's just, again, it's just a great luxury truck, but that has just too much power. But there's no such thing as too much power, but it just has so much power. It's very enjoyable to drive, but it's also very enjoyable to take your wife to dinner in and stuff like that. You know, if you want to be tame, you can be tame. If you want to be crazy, you can be crazy. And that is why I say this thing can do it all. It's crazy. It can go off-road. It can do on-road. It can do everything that you want it to do, and it can do everything that you want it to do well. So it's just a great truck. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping one day, within the next couple years maybe, that I can afford to buy one of these. You know, that's my goal, and that's why I need your support so I can get a dream truck. You know, this is my dream truck, and it was my dream truck. I got to drive it around for a little bit, but it's different when it's your own versus when you're using it. You know what I'm saying? So if you can help me get to my goal of being able to get one of these one day, please take a second, give this video a big thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section down below and hit that subscribe button. That is kind of like the best way to help me get to my goal. You know, I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos, so I'd really appreciate it if you all would just take a second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Basically, that's it for today's video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I would really, truly appreciate it. Thank you all so much for 21,000 subscribers. I hit that this morning. I feel like I just hit 20,000, what, like maybe 10 days ago? So the growth has been insane. I really appreciate the support. I truly, truly do. You guys are helping me achieve my dreams. So I really thank you to everybody who has supported me. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.